Welcome back, everybody. Time for some more Grand Tactician, the Civil War, fighting as the Confederate side. And we're going to pick up right where we left off. If you didn't see the episodes up to this point, there's a link in the description below that'll take you back to the beginning. We are trying to concentrate Albert Sidney Johnston's 46,000-man strong Army of Mississippi to take on the Army of the Mississippi under John Pope. And the Army of the Southwest has jumped on some steamers and come down, I guess, these are the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers, I would guess. So I'm guessing this is the Tennessee River right here. And they're going to jump down and they're going to help out with this. Still trying to get my armies moving in the Trans-Mississippi Theater. The Army of the West appears to finally have moved away from Little Rock, and we are moving Johnston's small force of 6,000 men up into Maryland, where there doesn't appear to be any Union force to stop them now that the Army of the Southwest has moved to try and help Pope. Okay, I'm going to be fighting on the Shiloh battlefield one more time, and we're taking on John Pope. It looks like we have about equal numbers. He's got 25,000 men. I've got almost 22,000. It's only my second corps. I'm hoping my first corps arrives because they're super close to the second corps. I don't know why they wouldn't be able to engage in this fight. I'm trying desperately to get a concentration on my forces, and I just don't seem to be able to do that. But if we can hit them with the second corps, even if it's a stalemate, then we still have that first corps available. We can always come back at them with them. So let's go ahead and start getting our divisions into place. Actually, I think I'm going to put them up here. We're going to try to keep them concentrated as much as humanly possible. It's always hard at the beginning when they're all kind of up here in one spot. There we go. We can do the whole second corps this way. Now we can zoom in. We're pretty much in the same place we were before. So I think this time we can afford to be a little more aggressive in choosing the ground that we want. So I'm kind of looking here, and I like this spot right here. It's got some open field in front of us. There's not a lot of open field on the Shiloh battlefield. So maybe if I can put my divisions along right here and wait for the enemy, we'll see what happens. So one of the unfortunate things about the fact that I made a separate cavalry corps is that when your army gets separated like this and you don't have the full force, I don't have any cavalry to go out and scout. So I feel like every corps I ought to at least add a little bit of cavalry, maybe a cavalry division in each corps rather than a separate cavalry corps. Just at least that way I'd have some scouts. But I feel like it looks like they're coming from this way. I feel like maybe what I need to do is shift Garnett's brigade or division over here so that we're in position on that side. I just want to get this just right before the enemy comes down this road, if that's the way that they're going to come. And then I got to figure out how I best want to do the artillery, because doing it like this just doesn't seem to work. All right, well, it didn't seem like he was coming after me, so I've started to advance, and it looks like he's holding position right here on the road, the Corinth Road leading up to Shiloh Church. So we're going to go ahead and start moving in. I think we'll move in right here on the edge of Refield. We're going to move Withers up. I don't want to get him that close. What's this ground look like right here? This is that hill. So I've been here, and it's an interesting place. You cross down this. There's a little bridge there at the battlefield, and then you walk up this hill, and it's actually a pretty long, steady incline, and then through a bunch of woods down into another ravine before you hit the Shiloh Church. It's really tough ground to attack over. Okay, we're starting to fall under enemy artillery fire now as we get into place. I'm going to have to figure out how best we want to launch this attack, if we do at all. Maybe we'll wait and see what he does. So I'm going to have 2 batteries of 12-pounder Napoleons right here in the center of my line. I'd like to get up on this high ground right here. Looks like he's coming at me first. My boys have already opened up on him. Who do we got here in the center? We've got Gladden. He's one of the ones I haven't upgraded yet, so he's still got the mixed muskets. So does Jackson's brigade. I haven't upgraded anybody in this division yet. We got Withers 12-pounder Napoleons back here. I don't know how friendly fire works, but I would obviously guess they're not firing on these guys up front. Get get those Napoleons somewhere up front if I can. I thought I told this battery here, these other Napoleons, to move up here. I wanted them up on the front lines so they could use canister fire. And we're still waiting for Fields' division to get online. And this is a 10-pounder Parrott battery here, so let's get them behind the line somewhere where they can fire with their rifled gun. Okay, let's see how things are going so far. So Wither's division so far has already taken 20 killed. That 284 wounded seems, I don't know, it seems high. But we're inflicting pretty decent casualties on the enemy as well. Alright, let's go ahead and let this continue. So he's coming at me with a couple brigades near the center. Which actually works out nice since this is my division that is poorly equipped. I'm wondering if I've upgraded anybody in this corps. Starting to think I hadn't upgraded this corps at all. Oh, I didn't. Does this entire corps have mixed muskets still? I know, we got Lawrence's over here. Okay, so this is the division I had upgraded already. I should have put them in the center. I gotta pay more attention to such things. Thankfully, so far, he's doing a piecemeal attack again. We'll see if the update to the game coming out here in a couple of days improves on that. He's only sending in a few brigades at a time. Come on, shoot, get your... Oh, I guess it makes sense that he's firing that way for now. We're going to need to turn pretty soon and face this way. First combat for some of these guys. Quite a few of them, actually. Got Patrick Claiborne way out here on the right. Looks like he's got his cavalry over there. So he sent his infantry right at my battery. Alright, now he's sending out skirmishers over here. He's really, well, it's just skirmishers mostly that's coming out. Alright, we finally turned our guns. Give him canister, boys. Not the best angle. Hopefully they're not shooting each other. Now we gotta give these guys an order to fire at long range. What are we waiting on? Alright, let's see. He's attacking all the way along the line now. It's a full-fledged battle going on. But so far, so good. 64 killed, 150 for him. Pretty soon, we're going to even up those numbers. We've got a little more artillery than he does. But this is definitely the most we've seen along a line of action all at once so far. It's a little easier to see what's going on from here. I should get these Napoleons up on the line somewhere. Right here is good. So Shoop's lost 24 men, but we have him up on the front line. Hopefully he's causing far more casualties than that. All right, he's starting to pull back now. Go ahead and speed things up a little bit. I can always hit the P button to pause if needed. Man, imagine if I had some decent weapons on these units over here on the left and the center. Slow back down. Nice. Throw him back. Throw him back. He's holding this whole division back over here, and I'm not sure why. He just decided to attack my center first. We shattered Buford. How are we doing numbers-wise? Excellent. Very good. I'm pleased with that, especially since I have another whole corps out here somewhere that I can hit him with. We'll go up to 10 times for now until he makes a move. Alright, let's keep an eye on these guys because I'm starting to be a little concerned about them. They're stable morale. First battle experience. They're suffering from flanking fire and they're under artillery fire. I don't know where the flanking fire is coming from unless it's the artillery. Let's move Gibson up a little bit. At least for now. Maybe we can return the favor on the flanking fire. Okay. Pawn Jr. just broke. I was concerned that might happen. Only lost 189 men. It's a little disappointing. So we'll bring Anderson over to cover that spot in the line. Where are you going, Anderson? No, right here. He's like, no, I want to go with them. No, oh my gosh, what are you doing? No, don't go with them. Come up here, please. Oh, that's frustrating. Thankfully, Gibson's brigade is doing fantastic work here. They are a little concerned now about the flanking fire that they're suffering. Let me go ahead and slow things down a little bit. Lost 100 men in this Napoleon battery. That's not ideal. I'm afraid now, having lost 2 brigades on that left is going to become a real problem for me. They went all the way back to General Bragg is what they did. Alright, come back up. For the love of God, come back up. Ugh. And then that battery just fell back. Okay. Let's shift Jackson over from the other division. From Withers' division. At least get a little more stability on the line over here. And here's what the numbers look like. Alright, 293 killed on my side, 1,500 wounded, 157 missing, 500 killed for him. So we actually now have an advantage in infantry. When you add his cavalry, he's got just a bit of an advantage over me. Come on, boys, keep up that fire. Wow, look how close they are. And before you think, oh, that would never happen, it did happen. At Gettysburg, the 24th Michigan and the 26th North Carolina said that they were at 20 paces firing volleys at each other. That's about what this is. Could you even imagine being 20 paces away from 600 or 700 men firing volleys? And it wasn't just a bunch of rookies or amateurs either. The 24th Michigan was part of the Iron Brigade. Although that may have been their first battle. I'm not sure. I think they had just been added. That's why they had such a large regiment compared to some of the others. Is that artillery? Did he bring artillery up? Alright. Charge into him, boys. Take those guns. No, 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 no. Gibson's brigade broke. Oh, that's bad. My whole left side is collapsing. We may have to withdraw, even though I'm inflicting more casualties on the enemy. Man, imagine if he had poured this whole division in at me on that side. And we just gave Jackson an order to fall back too, and he's suffered 400 casualties as well. All right, we need to get out of here and bring up the balance of the First Corps. Okay, major Confederate defeat, only because we didn't have our whole army with us. That and because we were commanded by Braxton Bragg. That didn't help. But John Pope's not any better. So 2,800 casualties inflicted on the enemy, 2,300 suffered by us. But he's away from his base of supply. He is down, facing far more men than he has supporting him. So we'll get it back. Okay, due to his battle honors, Captain Robertson has become famous and is an inspiration for his men. Major Shoup has fallen in disgrace in the eyes of his men and the public. How about we talk about that brigade that ran when the guy next to him ran? That's who we should be dealing with right now, and I don't think that's who that was. I'll have to double check and see who these guys are, but I think these are probably both artillery units, Shoup and Robertson. All right, let's take a look at the Army of Mississippi here. I want to find where these guys are. First of all, there's Felix Robertson there. That's the guy who just did well for himself. And then Shoup is, yeah, the other artillery right here. You can see now they're down to just 5 guns. They've only got 68 men left in that unit. Somebody asked me the question, yeah, there he's defamed, about whether or not units receive reinforcements. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that for sure. But it's probably something good to pay attention to see whether or not we can find evidence of that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and replace Shoup with Van Manning. Looks like he'd be a good option to take over that small detachment. But what we need to do right now is we need to start thinking about upgrades to these weapons. And somebody else asked me how often I'm upgrading. I've been doing about a division a week is the way I've been choosing to do this. I didn't realize we were still going. So we'll go ahead and do, I guess maybe I shouldn't do an entire division at one time, but it makes it easier for me to keep track of what I'm doing if I do it that way, rather than just sporadically doing units here and there. So Army of Mississippi still has 43,000 men, and we need to, it looks like the First Corps is engaged with him right now. We've also got the Army of the Southwest right here. I don't think I have enough men to deal with them. And Loring's Corps is only 5,000 men. That's really not enough to deal with them either. Okay, here we go again. Braxton Bragg in command. This time we've got both corps available. And this is where we've got to take advantage and smash the army under Pope. So let's do this. We've got 2 corps this time. We're going to have to really plan this out well. Leonidas Polk. Neither one of these guys were particularly effective commanders. Bragg and Polk. especially Bragg. But the difference between the two is that, from what I understand, Bragg's men hated him, whereas Polk was probably one of the most popular men in the Confederate Army. In fact, I read a quote somewhere, I believe it was Sam Watkins, who wrote that often quoted biography of his war service called Company H. I think he was in the 1st Tennessee Infantry, and they quoted his diaries a lot in Ken Burns' Civil War series. But I think he wrote somewhere about how Polk's death, when he was killed late in the war, was second only to Stonewall Jackson in terms of how it affected the men. Polk was with, I believe, most of the high command of the Confederate Army, and I want to say it was Sherman who actually spotted him across the battlefield and ordered a battery to fire on them, and basically a rifled shell, I think from a 3-inch ordnance, all but cut him in half. It hit him on one side, went right through him, and came out the other side. And it happened right in front of the rest of the generals on staff. All right, so we need to get a nice, strong position. It'd be nice if we could get all the way up to Owl Creek. I don't know if we'll be able to get that far, but if we can, that would be fantastic. We'll go ahead and start moving. Let's say, oh, what is that? That's not how I wanted to do that. Withers Division, let's get him right up here at Shiloh Church. Bring in Field right next to him. You can see now I have the cover order, so they're actually kind of lining up a little bit disjointed. And there's going to be, I mentioned this in the last episode, in the update that's coming this weekend, there's going to be a way to just hold down, I think, Shift, and you can give them orders just to line up rather than doing that. Now, because I've got 2 corps this time, I'm going to put 2 divisions on the front line and 1 in reserve in each case. So we got Chatham's division up here. Yeah, and I really think it's going to make sense to move the artillery out of each brigade or each division and make a separate artillery division, so that when we make battle lines, we're not having to deal with artillery lining up, because the way it does it right now is it does your artillery to the left and then your infantry to the right. So who's my 3rd division here? Clark. And then we'll get Clark in reserve. All right, we're spotting him, but it looks like he's shifting off to my left. So we may need to go ahead and take Garnett's division out and extend my line over this way, just in case. Oh boy, they've got orders to take initiative, which means they're going to start moving on their own, so I'm going to have to go in and change those orders. Okay, here he comes. Looks like they're still in movement orders. I don't think they had realized I was here. I had to tell Field to get back in line because he had started taking initiative, and I don't like the initiative he was taking. So let's get Gladden right up here at the apex of the line. What are you doing? Get back in position. So he's sending out skirmishers now. And it's interesting, there was in fact a Union commander named Kirby Smith, not to be confused with Edmund Kirby Smith, who was on the Confederate side. Why are we pulling back here, guys? What? There must still be a order that I'm not aware of here. Hold on, let's take a look and see. Oh, it's the use cover and use high ground. So let's stop with the use cover because it's going to mess up my line if he does that. Get back up there. Sometimes you just can't use cover, dude. You got to go where I tell you to. Now keep an eye out, because if he attacks the center, we're probably going to need to swing some of this stuff around so we don't get broken in our center. We do have plenty of divisions over here. I'm going to go ahead and move Lawton up. Again, let's cancel the cover order in favor of just staying in line. Oh, come on. See, this is the problem now. I have to remember to turn off those orders or else they do their own thing. And then I have holes in my line like I do right now. Where is Chalmers going? And why is he facing the other direction? Okay. Once again, he goes for my center. That seems to be Pope's modus operandi. Chalmers about to get his first perk upgrade. A little more up. There it is. How about a perk that says stop backing up? Expert Skirmishers, Zua of 1. I wish I knew what each of these did. It doesn't tell you that. How about Sharpshooters? Let's do that. Alright, so far so good, I think. Oh yeah. We have to smash him here though, so we're going to have to... We'll try to hold the line. Wrong way. We'll try to hold the line, but when an opportunity presents itself, we're going to pursue, and we're going to try to just destroy Pope's army here. He's pulling everybody back now. Let's go ahead and advance Garnet up this way. Do not use cover. Just go straight. There we go. We're going to push this as best we can. Alright, I started moving my line up, and for a while he sat right here along this ridge, and it looked like he had a really strong defensive line. But apparently my guys moving up from this side and threatening his flank has caused him to rethink that, and now he's shifting everybody to his right. Really not sure why. Because he had a strong line, except that I just have more. Alright, they're coming down to hit me here, and we're not quite in position yet. We're getting there. This is going to be a tough one, because I've got to shatter this whole line somehow. I'm still hoping I can draw him into an attack on me. But it seems like he's too smart to do that right now. %3 losses on each side right now, which is fine with me. What I'd like to do, I think, if possible, since I've got more men, got my controls all off. Since I've got more men, I've got to find a place to exploit the line and get around him. Now this is all woods and kind of difficult terrain up here, but I wonder if I could get a division across Owl Creek. We'll send Clark's division over there. Alright, we've hit the end of the day, April 25th. Everybody's getting supplied. Looks like we're not fully able to resupply. But that's okay. What's going to happen now is our redeployment. So we can kind of shift our forces a little bit. You can only do that within the boundaries of the area that you control. which basically means I pretty much have to stay right where I am. And that's fine. We'll see what he does. Looks like he's sending out skirmishers. He may be preparing for an attack. Here's the numbers. 100 killed for me, 200 killed for him. The wounded's higher, but again, I don't know how much of that is prior wounded that we brought into the battle with me. Seems unlikely I would have that many more wounded than him when the killed number favors me. So he's got cavalry out here on his flank. I'm going to keep pushing Clark further out this way just to give him something to think about. I don't think I'm really going to attack with Clark over there. And I kind of want to hang tight right here until I see what he does. He's got this artillery right here that concerns me a little bit. I want to destroy his army, but I don't want to be foolish and lose more men than I have to in doing so. Oh, what in the world is Chambers doing? Some of these units are falling back, and I just don't understand why. Like, they don't seem to have any reason for that. Same thing with Claiborne here. What are they doing? Oh, he is attacking. Okay. Here it comes. Making my job easy, Pope. I like it. Man, look at the terrain here. Interesting, to say the least. These look like rifled guns here. Yeah, 3-inch ordnance. Please tell me these are Napoleons. They are. He's sending brigades right at them, and I don't have any infantry to support them. Wow, he's just pouring everybody he's got at the left side of my line. All right, Lawton, push forward. Chatham, we're going to send Chatham's infantry right at these guys. Right at the artillery. And let's go ahead and bring Cummings and Stewart down. Threaten that cavalry on his flank. Let's see what the numbers look like now. All right, even better. The killed number continues to go up for him. Not crazy about what's happening here. We got several brigades going at my artillery. Wow, he's just pouring his entire force on my left side. That's smart. I mean, that's what you need to do if you're the Union right now. Especially since some of my brigades are just really in disarray. But what I need to do is take advantage of that and push forward where he's weak. Because he has to weaken himself to do this. Pond again. I gotta replace this guy. It seems like every battle he just breaks. He falls back for no reason. He's only lost 14 men. It makes no sense. Other than that he's just an inept commander. But man, everybody's falling back over here. There's no reason to. Get up there and fight. Alright, Lawton, get your division up there. Alright, what I need here is I need Johnson not to stand here and look at these guns, but to charge them. Where's that order? I think it's here. Come on, Claiborne, get up there. So we held the line on this side. It's my center that's just, a disaster. Okay, we're engaging this cavalry over here. Gotta get these guys in order to fire at long range so they'll open up on him. Oh yeah, 600 killed now for the Union. That was a disastrous charge for him. He's up to 9% casualties. He did take out some of my guns though, which may have been what his point was and all of that. Ugh. My center just melted like butter. Terrible. Why these guys have not charged yet, I don't know. There we go. Here's a melee. I saw a melee order there. Did we lose it now? I need you guys to charge those guns and not stand there and get decimated. Drove back at least one of these cavalry units. Now let's get up here at Granger and do the same thing. Oh, my center is gone. Come back and fight, you cowards. There we go. Looks like we ran right past the guns on one side. But we're in melee combat over here. Alright. Who broke? Sweet. Sweat withdrawn. That's one of his. Let's look at the numbers now. 950 killed for him. That's fantastic. 15% casualties. Excellent news. So it may not look like it on the battlefield, but we are inflicting heavy losses on the Union Army right now. We drove off that battery. Hopefully we do the same with this one. Yep, we did. That's good news. What are we waiting on here? Get across that bridge. Alright, let's speed things up a little bit. Somebody's getting fired from this army after this debacle in the center. We've got his cavalry right where we want them now. Get coming across. Numbers. 1,300 killed for him, 400 for me. Oh, you love 3-to-1 odds on casualties. Fantastic. And that's despite this mess that has been made of my center. Alright, oh man, he just shattered some of my infantry. But now we got him. Alright, get out of there. That's right. So let's go ahead and bring Clark's division across. And try to rebuild our lines somehow here. Yeah, Withers, I think you may be the culprit in this one today. A bunch of his units are withdrawing now. That should be reflected in the numbers on the field. Yeah, he's down to just 14,000 men on the field now. Okay, we're on to another day, which means we had a chance to redeploy our scattered forces. So let's see what we're facing off against now. Now it's about 29,000. Well, no, it's about 22,000 versus 12,000 of who's left on the field. Now's our chance to destroy Pope once and for all. All right, Withers, you gonna stick around and fight this time or what? Nah, it doesn't appear you are. Let's try and get him to advance. We got Clark over on this side, but he's not close enough to actually engage. No. Oh, good. Withers is actually advancing. We need to push Lawton up a little bit. Oh, here he comes. Oh, and look, Withers' units are falling back again. Somebody was wounded. Major Manning. Excellent. Got a 10,000 man advantage on the field right now. Pretty much going to sit tight. I'm pretty happy with where we are. I've got them on both flanks. Who do we got over here? The last Centurions under Alfred Cummings. Russell's brigade's got 230 men left. Looks like the Union's fallen back. Hey, the last Centurions are ready to upgrade. Deadly volley. I like that. I want to look at our order of battle for a second. This is the first Corps order of battle. I'm trying to see if we have any of the other Patron units on the field right now. Alright, Pope withdrew. Major Confederate victory. You can see there we inflicted some pretty heavy losses, 6,000 losses out of his 22,000 man army. More importantly, we took out over half his guns. Of course, we lost a lot of ours as well. Only 2,700 losses on the infantry side. So the most important thing there is that now he's got fewer men in that army, whereas I still have a pretty substantial force, and that's going to be another blow to his morale as well. So let's see what generals did what, and then I think we'll wrap this episode up. Due to his battle honors, Captain Byrne became famous as an inspiration for his men. Brigadier General Lawton has fallen to disgrace in the eyes of his men and the public. Enemy's national morale only dropped by 0.07%, so nothing major there. Total losses for us, 4,494, the enemy 6,000, but that was a much higher chunk of his force. So we'll wrap it up right there. Still a lot to have happen in this campaign. We're really just getting started. It's only been a month and a half of war so far, and you can see how much time we've taken up. So let me know your thoughts. If you have any comments, questions, observations, suggestions, I'm certainly all ears. I read every single comment, even if I don't reply to all of them. And we'll see what happens when the update comes in. It may be out before the next episode, but we'll find out. Thanks for watching.